Hi, good morning, everyone. I hope we're doing well under these circumstances. It's Mrs. Matarredona from her home, and today we're going to be talking about just two things that I think are real important for juniors and that you're going to have to do moving forward for your college applications. So the first thing I want to talk to you about today is the senior brag sheet. You're a rising senior, so you will be required to complete the brag sheet. And what we've been doing in the past is encouraging all rising seniors to get this done during spring break of their junior year. So let me just show you the green sheet. In your folder, in your packet, you should have a green sheet that says Letter of Recommendation Senior Brag Sheet. Now, how do you access the senior brag sheet? Well, I'm hoping you all know that you need to go on Naviance. And let's talk about briefly why it's important and who gets to see the senior brag sheet. Well, besides myself and your counselor, who will be writing you a letter of recommendation, any teacher that you ask to write you a letter of recommendation will also have access to your brag sheet. And I feel the brag sheet is really important because as much as I like to think that I know so much about each and every one of my students, I know there are many things that I don't know about you. And the brag sheet is the perfect avenue, the perfect place for you to give me and your teacher as much detailed information about you as possible. So let's see if we can get the screen up. Miss Bodek is going to go on her Naviance account and going to show you, I believe, how we can log on to the brag sheet. Now, even if you are not sure, you weren't in on this presentation, you do have a copy of how to do this. So, obviously, as you can see, you're going to log on to your Naviance account and you're going to click on About Me, the tab that says About Me. And once you do, it's right in the top right corner. You can see that she's doing it. And then you're going to scroll down to where it says My Surveys. And then you're going to go to Surveys Not Started. All right. And then you'll see three tabs: Graduation Survey, Senior Brag Sheet, and then Senior Exit Survey. Obviously, you have not started the senior brag sheet. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on there. And I want to briefly go over each question. And they're pretty important because we all use these answers to write you the best letter, the best quality letter of recommendation possible. So it's not super long, but we do need you to be as detailed as possible. So for example, give 3 adjectives that describe you best and provide an example of each that illustrate that quality. Then I'm going to ask you to do number 2. Talk about an academic accomplishment that you're really proud of. Did you write a specific paper? Did you win something? And why did you choose it? Be specific, grade 10, grade 11. Number 3, what are your academic interests? What courses have you enjoyed most and why? Do you like, are you into the math and science area? Why is that? Architecture, social studies, be specific. What are your educational or career goals? What do you see yourself doing? If you know, put it down. Do you have an intended major or a minor that you might be interested in? This would be the place. Number 5, very important that you're specific. List all sports that you have been or are currently participating in. Well, not now, obviously, but that you were planning on participating this spring. You could add it. And please list what years, what grade. Grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, and grade 12. And then any clubs that you are actively involved in. Grade 11, what were you involved in grade 9, 10, and if you plan on participating as a senior. Any jobs that you've had or currently have, and when did you hold them? And then number 8, any community service activities and the year you were involved. And this could be through the school or through your church or wherever you worship. That's fine as well, or your families, maybe where your parents work, anything. And then number 9, is there anything that you would like to share with me or a teacher that could help write a stronger recommendation for you? And then very important, will you be the first in your family to attend college? All right. That we want all our juniors to do during their spring break, and you have the time to do it. So please make sure that you complete the brag sheet to the best of your ability in detail. So when I go to write your letter or a teacher goes to write your letter, they have a lot of information that they can pull from. Okay? Now, the second thing that I want to discuss briefly with you is how to request a letter of recommendation from a teacher. Now, before you go crazy and start asking 10 teachers, let me first stop you by saying you don't need more than 2 if you are applying to a four-year college. And up until this moment, we would always tell you to, when you're asking a teacher for a letter of recommendation, to please do it in person. Well, we can't do that right now. So moving forward, by the end of the school year, if we're not back, or whenever, if we don't get back in the foreseeable future, the way that you're going to have to ask a teacher to write you a letter would be via an email first. Dear Mr. So-and-so, or Dear Miss So-and-so, would you be so kind as to write me a letter of recommendation next year for my next year's applications? I really want to apply to, certain schools. I would first send an email like that. However, Mrs. Bodek also now she's going to log on to her Naviance account. And again, if you get confused, it is on, the directions are on a green sheet in your college folder that we were going to do in person. So let's talk about how you can access writing a letter, requesting a teacher for a letter of recommendation. So when you're ready to do this online component of clicking and getting it ready to ask a teacher, you're going to go to the colleges tab on the top of the page. Then you're going to click apply to college, and you're going to see the letters of recommendation come up. All right, this is going to bring you to your requests page. You're going to click on add request, and all of our teachers are going to appear in the drop-down menu where you're going to select a teacher. So let's say you want, I don't know, Miss Bain to write you a letter, or Mr. Prokop. You would select that teacher. You're going to click on all current and future colleges that you apply to, just makes it easier. And then you're going to write a personal note. Dear Miss So-and-so, I truly appreciate you writing me a letter. Thank you so much. Personal note really goes a long way, because it is a lot of work to write a letter of recommendation. And then you'll hit submit request.
It might be a good idea to include the due date of your first college, so the teacher knows the time frame that they have to have the letter done by.
So to wrap up briefly, today's session was the senior brag sheet and requesting letters of recommendation. Please be mindful of the dates when you do the senior brag sheet. We want it done hopefully during spring break. The sooner the better, just in case your teachers have some time maybe this year to write a letter. If you have done the necessary work and have requested the teacher via email asking them, and then did it through Naviance before the end of the school year. Again, if you have any questions, to please just email your guidance counselor, and one of us we will get back to you. And I hope to see you really soon. Take care all. Bye-bye.